Hello, you guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't y'all know I got busy doing something else? I got busy doing something else. I know I had said it for 11 o'clock. I was like, oh my God. My phone rang. It just, it completely. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. I see TB21. I see Chocolate 16. Thank you, Chocolate 16. And I see Shan. And I'm going to wait for some more people to start coming into the room. Chocolate 16. I'm going to wait for people to start coming in. Hey, Miss ZK. I know I was supposed to come on at 11. Then I got busy doing something else and forgot and just having to come back. Hey, Mr. Parker. Hey, Miss Phyllis. You guys, how is it going? How's everything going? Are you all doing okay this morning? I decided to get on because I got to get out a little bit later. So I'll stay on. I could stay on for like an hour. Yeah, for like an hour. Hey, Miss Teresa. I was listening to like my R&B, my soul R&B and um cleaning and stuff. Hey, Miss Positive Vibes. How's it going? You all make sure you hit the like button when you come into the room. They put numbers. I'm gonna wait for some more people to start coming in and then we'll start talking. Um Done, laugh out loud. Good morning, my favorite people. Hey, True Aquarius. Hey, Norman. You guys doing okay this morning? It was really great. We went to this restaurant that yesterday I tried fried at the restaurant I tried fried um turnip greens balls and I didn't think that it would be good but it was actually good. Miss T, give Mr. Parker his honey-do list. Okay, I need to give Mr. Parker his honey-do list. For real, for real. Because Mr. Parker think he my husband up in this chat, so he need his honey do this. Um, hey, Miss Diane, we're gonna wait in and start letting more people start coming in. He said, "Oh, I think." Hey, little Miss Muffin. Hey, Exotic. Hey, little Miss Muffin. Have you ever reached out to me on my Facebook like page? I'm trying to think if that was you. I'm waiting for more people to start to come in. Hey, Angel, the real boss. Is everyone doing okay this morning? You guys, I wanted to talk about Memphis has some lottery pick talent. Is it a game to keep the rappers divided? Okay. And I was thinking, what's so sad about it is it's like I don't know. I was just thinking about the dynamics of it, and you see, quite a few rappers from around the Memphis area um has really made a lot of money, right? They've been able to accomplish, quite a bit, right? And with the exception with the exception of Young Dolph, who actually created a label that was successful and is still successful. You have CMG, okay? It seems like Gotti, regardless of how I feel about what I feel like he's done, it seems like his label has some momentum, just as Young Dolph's label has some momentum. I remember like 3 6 Mafia. They had a label. I forget. I don't know if it was. I forget the name of 3 6 Mafia's label, but they had signed quite a bit of artists, right? And I'm just thinking about like all through the years how Memphis has an acquired sound. A lot of execs and stuff, especially from the outside, be looking at Memphis artists because of the talent and all of that. But for some reason or another, Memphis artists tend to, you know, it kind of dismantles because hey, get down. Hey, because because of the fighting from within, right? That's why I was like, is it a game to keep them divided? I think about just kind of referencing back to I know that's right. Those dogs was quiet until I got on here. They ain't said a word. Was laying over their sleep. ZK says hopefully they can change the trajectory of that. I would hope so too. Um, because I'm thinking about referencing back to what is going on with BEO and OG Boo Dirty. Now, just from my eyes, I think that um I maybe at some point they can agree to disagree and just move on, right? I know it's bigger when you have a lot of people putting their input in. That makes that blaze that's throwing gasoline on the fire, right? But hopefully, if they never see eye to eye again, they can just agree. Listen, I ain't messing with you. You ain't messing with me. Let's just coexist and not fight from within, right? Positive Vibe says if the rappers was all on the same page, Memphis could really right. And that's what I'm looking at, like the acquired sound that Memphis has, almost like Memphis has its own sound, almost like New Orleans has a acquired sound. New Orleans and that bounce music, that's acquired. Like I like that bounce. I do. I like that. I like New Orleans sound. They have a sound of their own, right? Just like New York has a sound of their own, California has a sound of their own, Memphis has its own sound, right? And so you're right, and it is an acquired sound. The artists have the opportunity to go very, very far, but it seems like what's so sad. Even though you have people from the outside looking in, and at Memphis artists, and you oftentimes you have a lot of artists that kind of duplicate that, try and duplicate what Memphis has going on. The fighting is from within, and some of the people that tend to, I guess, make it to be execs from the Memphis area kind of perpetuate a lot of what's going on, which is really sad to me, or they can be paid to perpetuate that. You go get the talent, scientists, artists who, because you have to understand now, with the exception of maybe Young Dolph's label, a lot of these labels that you see, they are backed by a finance system. Hold on for a second, you guys. Okay, you guys. But anyways, it seems like to me they look in, instead of trying to dismantle that, they kind of look in order to get the money from outside execs. They kind of look in on what's going on in Memphis. They become sharky also, right? Instead of trying to help to bring their city or help them, because it's been so much to go on. I don't know if they can ever be one, but to at least just coexist and be able to see each other without being on any type of crazy time, right? I was listening to somebody came into my chat and was saying that there's a rumor that Yo Gotti was trying to bring the city together. Now, hey, I'm not saying that he ain't, but I had not seen where he's trying to bring the city together. Like, I don't um I had not seen that on his page. I had not seen that in an interview. I haven't seen that. Okay. It would have been nice if Yo Gotti would have tried to do that, probably dating back to 2016, right? And now you have the whole city in disarray. And so people say, well, there was always, beefs and stuff going on. There was always beefs going on. But I think back in 2021, when this situation happened with Young Dolph, it just kind of made it bigger. And I fought him 100%. I fought him for what is going on, and it's extremely disappointing when because I was a fan of Yo Gotti's. You have my family members that's from South Memphis at the time, especially when he was coming up. They were very big fans. They was going in those hole in the wall clubs, where he was hanging out at, trying to get on at, trying to get people to come in and see him. They was rocking with him the long way. So it was not at that time, hey, those were South Memphis folks that was rocking with him the long way, right? Um, I liked a couple of his songs, and so it's very disappointing that he would allow and perpetuate, because contrary to what anyone thinks, he perpetuated this, right? And so now you see something that is completely out of control, and to say he's trying to bring the city together after he has perpetuated the very ultimate, that's insanity. You help to participate in taking somebody's CEO out, a man who was just like he's feeding people. Young Dog was feeding people, right? You have to perpetuate that, and you think that you would be able to ever put a band-aid on that. It ain't gonna happen. Yo Gotti has seen the streets more than me. He ain't no damn fool. He understands that it can't happen. And if you want my honest opinion, I don't think that he is trying to do it. That's not trying to throw dirt on him. I'm looking at the situation that is happening with Finesse Two Times and Boo Dirty. Now, I don't really like to talk, I've talked about it, but that situation with Finesse two times and Boo Dirty, I said from the very beginning, I felt like it was a strategy or whatever. And I don't necessarily think that it came from Finesse. I think somebody kind of boosted Finesse to do that, who would have something bigger to gain from that. Finesse ain't got a damn thing to really gain, right, by having a young mob into it with each other, other than more than likely, I'll say, um, sitting back grinning, right? But who would have something to gain? Who would really want that, right? At a time where I feel the Young Dogs case is getting ready to start up, you start having the very people that would probably be, or you consider. I'm not saying that they would be maybe a threat to you or something like that. You start getting an organization fighting within each other, right? So now the focus is off of them. They're fighting with each other. They start to dismantle each other. I think I said that. But so I think the thing that bothers me is, like I said, to for when people, I guess I would never say that people did not support Yo Gotti, because Memphis did support him. Memphis really did. And you still have people, especially around the area that he had grown up in, which would be North Memphis. They probably they still mess with him, even if they don't agree, and are not in agreement, because I think people kind of take on what a lot of people on the outside of Memphis kind of take on, and they go, even if they're street dudes, hey, I am She Johnson. Thank you, love. Why did it have to happen? That's something that did not have to happen, as far as taking him out. You know what I mean? I don't think I told y'all that a guy that I know that is a real hardcore street dude. They kind of mentored back in the day Black youngster, right? And you would think that they would have been on the same type of time. And that dude, he's older, but he go, no, no, they know they didn't have to do that. They weren't even supposed to do that. And I'm telling you, when I tell you hard to the core, that's a hardcore street dude. And he frowns up on that. No, they that dude, Doc was helping people. They weren't supposed to, they didn't have to do that. So you have a lot of guys that may not have issues with Gotti, but they go, no, that right there wasn't supposed to happen. They're not even in agreement, right, with that. And I think anybody logically would say that that was not supposed to happen, right? You take somebody out, you have a consistent pattern of trying to take somebody out, and you consistently bringing people in to do it, right? So it in my eyes, it was not a mistake, or I cannot ever say that he did not know or have an affiliation, or he was directly involved, because it had been going on since 2016, right? At any time he could have stopped it, right? So now we have so now we have hold on, you guys. We have Gotti, who is an exec, and it's a lot of lottery picks that are in the Memphis area. That's why I said, is it a game to keep them divided? If you can keep them going at each other, we already know that it's not just a myth, as it relates to how these execs and these record labels and stuff, they get their funding from insurance policies, stuff like that. Like that stuff is extremely real, right? And I think it's so sad, because when you start seeing these young dudes who have different styles of rapping, that are extremely talented, that could actually create a lot of generational wealth for themselves and their family, and help other artists to create generational wealth by signing them. It's sad that you have other Memphians, or other Memphians can be paid, right? To tear them down. I'm thinking about Key Glock, how when Young Dolph was taken out, and people were saying, well, Key Glock had something to do with it. No, Key Glock was a target, and unfortunately he was a target because they knew he had been around Young Dolph quite a bit, right? And they knew that he would more than likely be up next, right? People would be looking at him. He has soaked up all of that knowledge, right? He's young and vibrant, and I mean, they was looking to take him down, right? And so I think another thing too, and I've never said this, but I know quite a few of the Memphis artists be looking at my blog, but it's not just Memphis artists. I think that's the spirit that's in Memphis right now, and I think it needs to change. One of the things that Memphis has a issue with is loyalty, right? No loyalty at all. Like, it seems like every other person can be bought. Every other person can be bought. Okay. Every other person can be bought. And there's no loyalty amongst the artists, even if you don't get along with the artist. Hey, it's all about the bottom line, and that is creating generational wealth. If you can't get along with somebody, stay out of that person's way. Let them do their thing as long as they're not doing anything to you. Stay out of their way and you do your thing and make your money. But it's sad that you have a group of talented lottery picks who's willing to cut anybody in the back, right? Instead of just using their talent. And sometimes it's perpetual, right? It could be perpetual. You may not get there as soon as you want to, but if you just keep the course, you'll get there. But everybody want to take a shortcut. And so that's where the disloyalty comes in, that they're willing to stab anybody in the back to try and get there. And that's why I talk about building sand houses. There are a lot of artists around the Memphis area that are building sand houses, but you have execs that come up out of Memphis that help to perpetuate that kind of behavior. And so, y'all, that's why I say, is it a game to keep them divided? Because I was talking to somebody the other day. A house divided can't stand. That's why a lot of these artists are not making what they could be making, because if the execs and stuff can keep them going at each other, they ain't got time to look at the business part, right? And by the time, if they stay beefing, by the time they do try to smarten up, either they beef so much they end up getting knocked out. I mean, they end up getting taken out, or they going to jail. Okay. Hey, straight to the point. Thank you, love. Definitely 21, 25. Okay, 25. My 25th birthday. Thank you, Joy Loves God. Oh, Miss Kitty, I wonder why they keep unsubbing you to my channel. He said that She Ranch. Hey, the Alabama hitter. Somebody else was saying that they were interested. Hey, Tramika. Tramika says, like you said, I was a fan of Gotti, but one time he had a concert at Club Motion, and my cousin took me to the back to meet him, and he was so arrogant that I stopped going. I mean, that's one of the issues that Hate Came Life that one of my cousins had said. She was like, they used to go and party with, hang out in the clubs and stuff. And he did some foul stuff. Then once he started getting some traction, he started, doing some stuff. I had some male cousins that kind of hung out with him. Um, I tell you. Hey, Cypress. And I was thinking today, who was that? Thank you for being a member for 17 months, Miss Kitty. I appreciate that so much. Have heard Young Dolph bro rap. I haven't heard Young Dolph's brother rap, but somebody had told me a while ago Young Dolph's brother was a, he was a good rapper. He does a good job. But I've never heard him. I would like to hear him though. Um, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. But it's heartbreaking, as like I said, especially when you have a lot of talent. I mean, just a lot of good talent around the Memphis area, and and you see them, getting taken out or going to jail consistently, and it's always from with each other, never the outside, but always with each other. And when there could be a lot of generational wealth circulating around the Memphis area, and like I said, what's gonna have to happen is a lot of the and just the Memphians in general gonna have to learn something about some damn loyalty, okay? And I don't understand it because I grew up in Memphis, bitch. I'm loyal, okay? I'm a real loyal person. If you until you do something to me, and that ain't being disloyal, it's just that I ain't get ready to fool with you. But these folks now have a lust for fame. They ain't got a lust for wealth. They don't know nothing about wealth. They have a lust for fame. They don't even understand fame and wealth is supposed to be affiliated. If you're famous, more than likely you are supposed to be wealthy, not infamous, but famous. But now what they've done is they've disassociated wealth and fame, and a lot of people have not caught up with that, right? And so now you have a lot of artists that are just doing anything for the fame. I think about the night that Young Dolph was taken out and you had Straight Drop on live. Somehow I came across that video. Let me see if I can find that again. Hold on. You had Straight Drop on video. Hold on. I bet I can't find it because I can never find nothing when I need it. I happened to just run across it. Hold on. And he was on live. And when people was getting on his live with him, it's a darn shame that they had taken a man's life. And the only thing that, the people that was jumping on the live, they was happy that I'm sure in the back of Straight Drop's mind, he knew that something was going to come behind him because he was constantly drinking. He couldn't even deal with his damn conscience, really. Run it up, bro. You going up. You just add some more stuff. I see you going up. You just killed a man and took him. This man just took a human being from his damn life, his kids, and his family. And you had them Negroes sitting up talking about, okay? You had them Negroes sitting up talking about, did you run it up? Make sure you run it up. You going up, right? They thinking about numbers. That's why I talk about loyalty, even having loyalty to yourself. And I think that's kind of what's lacking. People are doing anything. All of the talent that these artists have, I guess they don't really have a lot of confidence in themselves because they're willing to take the bait and do anything instead of saying, no, I'm gonna figure this shit out. And the path that I take, it might be a little longer, but if you have a determination, you get there. But they sell their souls out every time because even though they see everybody else crashing out that take the shortcut, they think it's going to be different for them. They think that it's going to be different for them. And so I think it's disappointing when you have older rappers who make it to become execs, that make it out of certain situations, especially around the impoverished areas, North Memphis, you know, South Memphis, and then they get to the outside people, they make it to the execs who are funding rap careers and labels, and you come from a city that you struggled in and all of that, and you come back and help to perpetuate that type of energy and even initiate it, right? Even initiate it without a conscience or anything, no type of loyalty to your city, nothing, you know, nothing. That's why I say these artists are going to have to start looking at it another way, because these execs will crash them out. But they're going to have to learn some loyalty first to themselves, because if you got some loyalty to yourself, you ain't going to go crash out anyways. Not for no money or nothing, because your livelihood and your children and all of that comes first. Nah, bro, I can't crash out. Nigga, I look, I got enough confidence in my own talent. I got kids and shit. I can't be beefing with you. You can have that right there. You got it. You can have that. But instead, they let people dangle money and stuff in their faces every single time, and to crash out. I got kids to feed, bitch. You gonna be in jail. How you gonna feed them? how you gonna feed them? How you being loyal to your family? Okay, when you crashing out for some money, you ain't gonna be out to feed them, or you gonna be in the grave. And so that's why I say women are gonna have to start using their influence better. I sometimes I be looking at some women, and ladies, we have to do better. We can't pacify these men. But if you know you got a dude or something, and he a street dude, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to do it better than what you're doing, right? I listen. I ain't never had but 7 real boyfriends, and probably about 4 or 5 of them were street dudes. I ain't had no issues with what these girls. I didn't. I just had another type of language. Okay, you could make him think he can be the damn president, because your words can help him to disassociate himself from a lot of that bullshit, especially right, if he got a talent. You don't help him to indulge in that. But a lot of women don't even know the power that they have, because they understand in order to keep their position, they have to instigate and perpetuate a bunch of bullshit. They did this and that. Look, lady, you're gonna have to learn another language instead of perpetuating that garbage. Help him to disassociate himself from a lot of that stuff. Okay, help him to do that. You can't put him on that path, but help him to disassociate himself from that by not bringing him that garbage. But you have a lot of women that do that. You have a lot of women that instigate that type of stuff. So that's why I say, and I'm talking about Memphis now, and y'all know I be loving on my city. I be loving Memphis and all of that. But I'm telling y'all, like, this is the real, like, you have had so many good artists that were trendsetters, that was talented. It didn't just start with Gotti and Dolph. It didn't just start with them. It was a lot of great artists that came before them. And I'm telling you, a lot of this beef stuff has been going on. That's why I said, is it a game to keep them divided? Okay, it was. I mean, nobody went as far as Gotti and them went. Nobody went as far as Gotti and them went. As far as that situation with Dolph, it didn't happen like that. Okay, they did the ultimate. So that's the reason why I found it laughable when they came into my chat talking about he called for a truce or whatever. He know damn well it can't be no truce. He should have been calling for a truce or peace back in 2016. Okay, but instead he kept signing artists that could get him out the way. If you want to ask, in my opinion. Miss Kitty says I only had 3 and they dead. Oh wow, I hate that, Miss Kitty. Cypress says Diane Brown good food and Cokes be having a hold on me, man. Mr. Parker, I answered your question. She said Nadine. I'm still laughing in the emergency room like that and coughing with mask upside down. Um, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Tramika said, I changed my street dude and now we're married. Right? They have to want to change. They have to want to. If they like you enough, they will. If they want to keep what they got and they know you're not gonna tolerate that, they'll change. Um Y'all hit the like button for me. So do you all think that it is a game to keep them divided? Do you all think that it's a game to keep them divided? I do. I feel like it's a game to keep a lot of the artists divided. And I think that is so sad, especially because I love my city. I love to see when these little guys are they start rapping and they have such a interest in it, right? Because I think if the right thing was put in front of them, bruh, you got a talent, we can work with you, but you got to stay out the beef. You got to do it this way, handle it like this, and not just sign them to beef. Not just sign them to beef, because I think that's what certain labels do. At this one label that's affiliated with Memphis, and the labels that are associates up under that label, that's what they do. I think about CEO 30, and I kind of like CEO 30, and I think I kind of like them. I kind of like him because I watched him from the very beginning, right? And I'm not saying that things that he hadn't done is bad. I'm sure he has, but with CEO 30, I saw how that happened, right? I saw when he signed to Brett Gang. I think he was signed to Brett Gang for a reason. And so all of that stuff started happening. You had Brett Gang and CEO 30. I mean, you had Young Mob and CEO 30 and them going at it. And from my understanding, I don't know, but from my understanding, they didn't have any issues, right? And so that's what I'm talking about when these labels start signing these dudes that have talent and stuff that can rap. And then we see what happened. People started dying, right? People started dying, and I blame Moneybag. And Big 30 and them didn't have no business jumping into it. Big 30 should have just stayed with the rapping. Because see, if I'm gonna talk about Moneybag, I gotta talk about Big 30. Big 30 and them should have just stuck with the rapping and said, "No, bro, that's your issue." When they started talking about, we gotta protect the brand. Okay, well, yeah. So protecting you right. Protect your brand, protect your stuff. Get you some damn um um security guards to be around you. Get you some security, some bodyguards. That's how you protect yourself. But I'm here to make money, right? I'll make money for the brand because the labels get paid off of these artists. I'll do that, but I can't get into your beefs. And so once that happened, we saw how Moneybag and Big 30, how Young Mob, who Big 30 and them, from my understanding, never had an issue with, got into that. And then what Moneybag turned around and do, throw it back in their face and said, y'all jumped into my B trying to ride my D. Okay. If that wasn't a slap in the face, I don't know what was. So that's what I'm talking about. That's an example of, Big 30 and them being talented, already having a fan base, got people around Memphis that loves their music. But it seems like it is a game to try to keep them divided, because what happens? People start dying or they end up in jail. When, like somebody just said, if Memphis artists could just coexist, because everybody just ain't gonna like each other. It ain't it, I don't they just not. But coexist, it would be a lot of generational wealth, a lot of money really circulating around the Memphis area if that could happen. And I know people say, gonna say, well, you ain't in the street. That's just wishful thinking. Well, bitch, you need to get on that level. Cause I get tired of, people coming into my chat talking about, but you ain't in the street. That's just wishful thinking. Well, then if y'all in the street, y'all need to change that up. Change it. Miss Kitty said the beef is never gonna end. TB21 says, Mr. Parker, why not come on here and be cool? He said ZK bully him. And ZK said Mr. Parker like being mean to her. You guys, y'all hit the like button for me. I would tell y'all to call in, but I ain't even had time to fix the number. Shit. I guess I'm gonna have to get another. I have another number the next time I come on. I forgot to get a new number. I forgot to get a new number. Let me see. Mr. Parker says you stick be messing with me. Mr. Parker says, I saw this cashmere sweater I need. It's on sale. Can you grab it for me? Oh, Lord. I'm the meanest mod on here, and I'm real nice to Mr. Parker. I sure wish he could be the same. Y'all hit the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? I want to get on here and talk about that, right? I didn't have intentions on being here on here long because I gotta. Oh, it's 12 o'clock already. I gotta be somewhere, but it said, Mr. Parker, let's start a clean slate. But I started thinking about that. Memphis has lottery pick talent. Is it a game to keep them divided? And I do believe that. But a lot of the Memphis artists is just gonna have to change, like they said, the trajectory of that, right? They're gonna start thinking differently about things and not just have a lust for the fame and think all I got to do is just go kill bruh, or all I got to do is just go do this because it's happening. Ain't listen, it nobody could ever tell me that it's not. It is definitely happening, right? But they're gonna have to change up how they think as it relates to that, and go, you know what, I might be in with this group of people, but hey, if it's gonna cost me retaliation, me looking over my shoulders constantly, they pulling me passively pulling me into their beef and stuff, hey, I gotta go about this another route because I can't get into that. I'm only here to make money for me and my family. That's it. And creating bad karma for me ain't making no money for my family. Okay. They're gonna have to change because, like I said, it's a lot of potential generational wealth walking around the city of Memphis. These boys are born with the talent. It's just amazing to me how just one city has so much lottery pick talent as it relates to music. They just rap straight off of their. I mean, it just come off of their. It's just natural, right? And everybody on the outside can see that, but they stay in so much shit they can't see it, right? They can't even see it instead of keeping the main thing the main thing. And I know people don't want to, really talk about that. They'll say, well, you just all far removed from what's going on. That ain't how it is. What in they need to change it and make it like that. I don't like people that say stuff like that. That's just how it is. Okay, so that means that that's telling people just accept that. No, when you have the damn power to change it, especially when your ass start to get old. Okay, Diane says, well, look at the redemption, Mr. Parker. I appreciate that. You know how we're coming about you. JJ says that behavior is happening all over the country, not playing crabs in a bucket mentality. That's so true, JJ. Crabs in a bucket mentality, right? Crabs in a bucket mentality. No two people are the same. No, it's not possible. When you start trying to duplicate somebody else's energy, you a thief. You a thief. People do that all the time. They try and duplicate other people's energy. Don't be a thief. Everybody has their own uniqueness. It just ain't possible for two people to be the same. It just ain't. That's why I tell people stay in your own lane, blaze your own trails, and just keep going. Let people do what they do, and you do what you do. There really is a lot of love and respect in this page. I can dig it. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of love and respect. That's how I wanted this page to be, right? With a lot of love and respect. That's why when I see a bad energy come in, I get some out. I can't. I've dealt with a lot of bad energies on YouTube. I don't want them in my chat. You take that devilish ass energy on. Take it back to your mammy. Lord forgive me for saying it, but y'all know I have to get one in. I'm from South Memphis. Take it on back where you came from. Leave us alone. Um, Dan, I raised two daughters, so I'm hard on black women. He says, when I met high quality queens, I protect them like they're all mine. Yes, you do, Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker is very protective. I have to give that to him. Okay. I loves me some Mr. Parker. Joy Loves God says they need to begin to think about themselves and their careers as a business, and everything else is a distraction that doesn't advance their professional goals. Ignore the foolishness, right? And even if they, you've had rappers that battle rapped and stuff, they always went back and forth with each other, but it was just a money strategy. My album get ready to come out. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to answer this dude. And people loved it. Ooh, I wonder what this one gonna say. I wonder what that one's gonna say. That's why I say if you too damn sensitive to battle rap, somebody come at you because you hear black young somebody say something about me, they gonna die. Bitch, you ain't got no business being a rapper. Black youngster never should, or anybody like him should have ever been able to get away with even saying anything like that. Okay. uh Anybody talk about me, they gonna die. Okay, we can't support him because that's a negative energy, nigga, that you put into the atmosphere. You or anybody of your kind. Who are you that you feel like that can't nobody talk about you? That's what the industry is about. That means you listen. That means you too weak to be a rapper. So you want to perpetuate that energy, you won't have a rap career, and we got the power to stop that. Okay, I dare one of my kids to download anything you got. Okay, we're not gonna support you. That's how you stop these artists from this crap. But nobody did that. You talk about me, you gonna die. Oh well, you gonna starve. You think we gonna support you going constantly trying to take out another artist because they said something about you? That means you a ballerina, nigga. You can't stand to be talked about. You need to put on your tutu and go to a damn ballerina class and bend over. Stand on your tiptoes and bend over. You ain't strong enough to be some type of gangster rapper. Okay? But instead, people kind of, they kind of perpetuate that. Instead of somebody say something, instead of grabbing your gun, that's what weak people do. When somebody say something about you, I see a lot of women that's stronger than that. You said something about me, nigga. F you and your mama. You start talking bad about him, bitch. Fuck you, your mammy and your kids and everybody else too. You get that on off your chest. You go on with your life, okay? That's how you do that. But instead, people grabbing for their guns. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know how I get. I came from that era. That's why I be when I get mad on here. That's how. That's I do. I came from. I grew up in South Memphis. That's how you do it, bitch. Fuck you, your mammy, your kids too, ho. What you talking about? Oh my goodness. Y'all know that's how we do it. Oh, Lord have mercy. But these dudes so weak minded, they grabbing for guns. So, what part of South Memphis she come from? Straight up there out of Clementine. My folks grew on Bulletin around off of Parkway, around Roanoke and Taylor and Richmond. That's where I hung out at. So you already know they weren't playing up there around Trigg and stuff. I had an auntie live right on Trigg. Tramika, I showed one. My phone ain't working. They took the number or something. I forgot that I needed to get another phone number. I guess they took the phone. They took the. I guess it's time for me to get another phone number. I guess that's what it is. I thought that once you got that phone number, you got to keep it, but I guess you don't. So I have another one when I come back on. Joy Loves God says, right, they just scared to take a good ass. That's they just scared to take a good ass whooping. I told y'all we fought until we was even. We fought until we was even. You take an ass whooping, and then you don't do no shooting or anything like that. But people are scared to fight. I mean, now I could see if it was a man. I already be letting these men know I'm coming like the other men coming, nigga. I'm not getting ready to fight with no man physically, and no man should even want to be. That's when you know. I'm gonna tell you something. A man that a beef and fight with a woman can't be trusted. That nigga will do anything. He cannot be trusted. I'm telling you that right now. That's a weak-minded piece of shit. That he'll. If I was his pot, he'll turn on his own partners. You can't trust nobody like that. Because most men don't have time to be dibbling, dabbling with arguing with no women because they feel like it take away from their damn manhood. Man, they ain't gonna argue with no woman. I'm a damn man. Okay? That's when you know you might be dealing with somebody that's got some type of integrity and it's levels that they won't stoop to, right? But a man that'll beef and fight with a woman can't be trusted. He will do anything. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Beverly says, "Oh boy, ran it out like that. He called everybody." Nicole says, "Miss T, you get tickled at yourself." Yeah, Nicole, I be getting tickled at myself. I do, because that's how we do it. People know that. Folks will try to act like they forget. You this bitch, fuck you. Your mama and your kids too, ho. What you gonna do? Cause see, we grew up fighting, and like I said, we fought until we was even. I'm going back around now to the other side of the apartment. She beat me up yesterday. Everybody was looking because everybody we standing out. Okay, well, I'm going back today. Okay, we're gonna fight again. This time we even. I get some of my credibility back. Now let's talk about it. Now we can get some mediation because we all got to live in these projects together. You got to live over here together. You got your lick, I got my lick back. We even. I don't look weak unless you just keep losing. You might as well just stop. You're getting your ass tore out the frame every day. But we had a tactic. The first thing, okay, she beat me up and she was able to get me because she pulled my hair. Folks scared to fight. Okay, this time I'm going to grab her hair quick and pull her down. Legacy says, in my era, we used to go to a basement, fight until somebody says enough, then go drink a beer and smoke a joint. Okay. because it really it was not in no it was no malice in it. But I think these dudes now have a lust because number one, a lot of them are weak minded to take out somebody else because they're jealous and they're weak minded. He gonna want to fight me. I love dudes that don't mind throwing them hands. They sexy to me. When they don't mind throwing them hands, they be sexy. They arms and stuff be nice and everything too. Cause you know they don't mind fighting. A lot of these dudes couldn't fight. They never had a fight, but they'll pick up a gun. They don't even know how to fight. Um, Ramona says, Tamara, read my comment. Okay, I didn't see it, Ramona. Let me go back up. Tamara, behave yourself. I'm telling your mama. I know that's right. I used to get like if we got into a if me and somebody got into a fight over in the projects and it was instigated by somebody else, especially if we had been friends, because the most of us had already been played together, or whatever. I would get a whooping. I would, cause I would fight. I would be the one to fight. My mother, I stayed getting in trouble for that, cause I would fight. My friends around me didn't do a whole lot of fighting. I was always the one that would fight. And so my mama started whooping me because she felt like I was being sent out, and I probably was, you know, because I would be the one to fight. So that broke up a lot of that fighting. Ramona says, Tamara, if you don't behave, I'm going to tell your mama on you. um Joy Loves God says, right, and even when I would try to hide it, when I would go to the other side of the projects and somehow we ended up in a fight. Now if it was something that happened spontaneously, like it wasn't planned, my mother wouldn't whoop me. But if it was something that had been instigated, that she would. And the other person's parent would always bring them to our house to talk to my mom, and our hair would be all over our damn head and stuff, mad as hell. Or my mother would take me around there so we could, after I got my ass whooped, so we could talk to the parent of that girl. And but it wasn't they didn't tolerate no boys, because the older dudes over there, if we fought with boys, them older dudes would be throwing them boys around like they was a leaf or something. If throwing them up off of the girls, the older guys that hung in the projects, that lived around the projects, they didn't tolerate boys fighting girls over there. They be throwing them, nigga, get your sis ass, especially if it was their nephews and brothers and stuff. They be mad as hell. Mm-mm. They be throwing them around in the yard and stuff, fighting with a girl. Get your ass in the house or something like that. New to you says, Mama said you better win. I would see red. I'm telling you, I ain't never run from no fights either. I never did. I remember this guy that tells me he gay now. I ain't surprised. This guy, I ain't gonna say his name. We called him Kiki. Well, shit, I just said it. And he had two sisters. I remember we was on a stair and we got to fighting. We got into a fight. I don't know how it happened. We got into a fight. And I remember one of the neighbors, her name was Deborah Davis. She was like, the only thing I could see, because he was knocking me, his sisters, I was handling his sisters. His sisters couldn't do nothing with me because I was fast. And he would pull me from the back and pull me down. So his sisters, they ain't know how to fight. Because Miss Deborah said, only thing I know, as soon as he would pull you down, you jump right back up, start fighting. They couldn't do nothing with me, with his sis ass. Lord forgive me. Legacy said, they said, damn, why you expose Kiki? Too Pretty says, I was just always, that's why I spend a lot of time alone now, because I have phobias about people getting into my face in an aggressive manner. I'm gonna hit you. Don't ever walk up on me. I used to tell this guy that I used to talk to, he probably wasn't gonna do nothing, but he always want to argue. And he want to stand over me, argue. I said, don't do me like that. I'm sitting down. You ain't got to stand over me and try to argue with me. That's one of my phobias. Don't do me like that. He walked up on me one day. He was, I don't know, he just like to argue about anything with his crazy ass. I kicked him in the stomach. I said, I told you don't do me like that. I have a natural reflex. You did that. You kicked me. I said you did that. You walked up on me trying to argue like you gonna bend over me. You made me kick you. I told you I was gonna do that to you. I know what he was gonna do. Y'all hit the like button for me. That's why I just spend a lot of time alone. Cause I don't like confrontational people. I like peace. I like peace. I don't want to be fighting with nobody. I don't really want to be arguing with nobody. I like laid back dudes because when I get mad at them, I'm a nitpick with them and then I'm gonna go on and lay down somewhere. And I don't need no damn man acting like no bitch wanting to argue back with me. ZK says my brother had me in all kinds of shit. I remember, I could say it now. I remember when I was working at one of the police departments, this girl tried to get me fired because she said I pushed her, and I did do it, but I sure lied like I didn't. She I don't work there no more. She always wanted to start with me because she was jealous because the lieutenant liked me. She would always try to start something. And Thompson such and such. I, I said, dude, I said, Scott, don't walk up on me like that. Stop walking up on me like that. We was working at the traffic. We was doing traffic, working at the West Precinct. I said, do not walk up on me like that. We got around that corner. I sure did. I pushed that bitch back up against the wall. And she went and tried to write up a memo on me. It was her word against mine. The cameras weren't in that corner. I sure did it. I sure did it. I told her not to walk up on me. And I ain't get no write up either because it was her word against mine. Um, Diane Brown says, my mom used to tell my sister and brother that she didn't ever have to worry about me. And they were too scary. Legacy has always been a loner. I used to hang with a fellow until my so-called friend gave me up to the feds. I'd rather eat crumbs with a bomb than to hang with these so-called friends. People would set you up, and then folks be jealous of you. They know you that I hate I did it like that, but that was just one of my natural reflexes. Bitch, you don't walk up on me like that. And I tell you, don't walk up on me. Don't do me like that. You walking behind me, I'm walking away from you. When a person walking behind you like that, consistently trying to argue with you, and then walking up close on you like I'm scared of it, they trying to provoke you. And I gave her what she wanted. Look, Too Pretty Miss Kitty says exactly, and Miss T. I miss the old days. Yeah, I like peace. Shoot, leave me alone. That's why I'm quiet. Um, Men have to learn the three little words to keep their peace. And men just need to go on and not say nothing. Most women rant and then they get tired and go to sleep. ZK and never been to jail before for Judy thing. I'll lose it. Like mess with my kids. Oh yeah. I got a story about that too. I remember when my daughter was in elementary school. And y'all know how they used to sell the little chocolate bars. He said, that's my wife, Jamaica. She gonna nitpick me and go to sleep. She a good wife. She changed me. That's how I am when I get mad. I nitpicks. I'm gonna nitpick. And then I go on to sleep. But my daughter was in the second grade. a old ghetto fabulous mother. Okay, this lady, my daughter loved school, and I remember, when they used to sell those chocolates, and so this mother had said that her daughter had some money and told my daughter to hold it for her, and it's talking about my daughter lost it. So the little girl used to call my house, but the mother started calling. I'm thinking that she talking to her friend. Her mom would get on the phone. So my baby was scared to go to school, y'all, in the second grade. I asked her, I was like, Noodles, why? What's going on? And so she finally told me that, I forget the girl's mother's name, had been, calling, had been coming up to the school, just intimidating my baby, a ghetto bitch. So she called my house out. That's why I don't deal with ghetto people. You call me stuck up all day, bitch. I grew up in the hood, but I ain't ghetto. I got a little hood in me, but I'm not ghetto. And so, anyways, so I told her, I said, well, this is her mother. My baby had told me what was going on then, had my baby scared to come to school. And my daughter gave her the money to hold for her. I said, first of all, your daughter should have had her own motherfucking money, bitch. You think you gonna intimidate my second grade baby? You ain't got no business. First of all, she was out of line for even calling, talking to my child. She should have been talking to me. Oh, I get mad every time I think about that. Yeah, I cussed that woman out so bad, it was ridiculous. My baby trusted her to hold her money. I said, your baby should have had her own motherfucking money, bitch. My baby ain't got to steal your child's money. I said, you need to be talking to your damn child for being irresponsible. Oh, that made me mad. That's what I'm talking about. Ghetto fabulous. Don't you ever in your life talk to my second grade child no more. I went up there and talked to the teacher and the principal. I said, I'm going to have that bitch laid out if she say anything to my child, got my baby scared to come to school. You talk to me. You don't talk to a second grader. Ghetto bitch. Woo. Mr. Parker says, fellas, it don't matter if your woman is if your woman is batshit crazy, weed patent lunatic. They just say, you right, baby. I had no business sleeping last night. Oh my goodness. Mr. Parker crazy. Mr. Parker says, baby, you right. I know why them his at your job expect you to clock in and actually do work. Well, Mr. Parker, you know how we women are. If we want to talk, I don't care if you are at work. You see me, you saw me calling. We women are clingy when we love guys. We become a little clingy. And when we ain't clingy no more because we got somebody else. Y'all hit the like button for me. How many likes do we have? We got 70 likes, you guys. If you haven't hit the like button for me. We got into talking about something else, but we was talking about Memphis has lottery pick talent, right? Is it a game to keep them divided? I think that it is a game to keep them divided. But a lot of Memphis artists are going to have to learn, like I said, loyalty, right? A lot of Memphis artists are going to have to learn loyalty, right? And stop just accepting anything for $1. Like that dollar gonna come if you got the drive. That money gonna come. You ain't got to cut at nobody. Period. I promise to God, you ain't got to create no bad karma. It's gonna come if you know that you're doing the right thing. Okay. If you know you're doing the right thing, you ain't stepped on no toes, and people mad at you, then they just gonna have to be mad. They just got to be mad. But if you know you cutthroat and you doing anything for that dollar, hey, all you doing is building a sand house. That's it. All you doing is building a sand house. Tramika says, Sam, for real, your kid needs to be addressed. I feel you because I'm telling you, I don't play about my children. They grown now. I still don't play about my kids. He says, or in Cypress' case, you're right, baby. I shouldn't have let that chick fall on my face. Oh, Lord have mercy. You guys keep hitting the like button for me. But hopefully, with all of the talent that we see, I really believe y'all keep hitting the like button. I really believe with all the talent that we see in Memphis, once these guys start to rechannel their energy, that's one of the reasons why, like, I be getting on here fussing and stuff because I know quite a few of these artists and stuff or the talent or Memphians be looking at me. I definitely have a passion when I talk about them. I call them cuckabug heads and stuff. I don't let nobody else do it. I do it because it's coming from a good place. Right, I be cussing them out, calling them bitches and hoes. I can do that though, right? But because that's how we do it. But it's coming from a good place because I want them to understand that the power and the talent that they have, that they all this stuff that's going on ain't got to be going on. They lottery picks. They really are. They got all of these outside energies looking at them. They could really create some generational wealth and have it circulating with hiring the right type of people to work for them. These graphic artists, these artists that can write songs and stuff, they could have that money circulating. Because once you get it now, you got to do right with it and pay people for their work. But instead, everybody want to take the shortcut and they build sand houses and everything withers away to include the money. Because anything that ain't built on a solid foundation can't stand. The first storm that comes is going to blow it away. And that is what is happening. That's what's happening. That's true, Marcus. They can't think for themselves. They can't think for themselves. And that's so sad. That's why it makes me so mad. Like when they go into most of these guys that can rap, they come straight up out the hoods. I know how these hoods look, especially in South Memphis, because I grew up around South Memphis. Ain't nothing changed. Okay, so things have gotten worse now as far as poverty. So they go straight dead into the hoods because if you let somebody starve enough, they'll do anything to eat. That's just it. If they starve enough, if you know they're starving, they'll do anything to eat. And so that's their strategy. That's exactly what they're doing with these boys. First of all, it's going to have to start with the parents. They're going to have to start building solid foundations and teaching that for their kids to include these girls and everything. I never in my life thought I would live to see the day where girls will participate in helping to set up dudes. Like, to me, that's so surreal. It is. It's so surreal. Like, dog, I can't believe that girls that's actually got children, because women are supposed to be the models of stuff, like the nurturers. These girls ain't got no damn nurturing spirits no more. They helping to perpetuate a lot of the misguidance of what's happening to these young girls that's out there on the street. You can't even trust no woman. You can't even trust these girls. They helping and leading in the pack. And bitch, you got kids at home. You get to thinking about, wow, why these girls, don't have an issue. Like my mother was saying one day, whoever told these girls that it's better to sell your precious body than to get out and get a job? You're like, dog, where that mentality come from? That's just disgusting and unheard of, right? So when people say, well, you didn't have it that hard, motherfucker, bitch, it's been going on forever, and it ain't nothing normal about it. It wasn't nothing normal about it back then, and it ain't shit normal about it right now. Okay? So it ain't got nothing to do with me not being in the street. It ain't normal. I get sick of people with that. Okay? So, and so then you start looking at their mamas and stuff. Shake what your mama gave you. Show them your money maker. You like, damn. They don't stand a chance. They don't even stand a chance because you got a mother that's instigating their young girl, their young daughter, hoeing herself out just so she can get her damn bills paid. It ain't nothing normal about it. It ain't nothing normal about these girls getting with these dudes and setting up other dudes. You got yourself, you got your family. You I did to feed my daughter. Well, how come you didn't take your ass over there to Burger King and you know, get you a job rather than setting somebody up? If a guy trusts you, because men ain't real trusting, to be around them, to come to their space, you gonna set him up, and you doing it under the guise of I had to feed my kids. That's a weak excuse right there. And it ain't. I will never normalize that on here. Nah, bitch, you wrong. It ain't nothing normal about that. Get your ass a job. That's what you need to do. But instead, people want to put a pacifier. Well, you know, she came from the hood and she got to survive. Well, then go get your ass a job. Ain't nobody saying that stuff no more. Instead, we want to pacify and put a band-aid on what people are doing so that they don't have to change their darn behavior. Okay? It don't make no sense. It ain't nothing normal about a girl allowing different men to put their wings up in her. It ain't. It's not normal. That's your temple. It's not normal. You know, I was looking at this the old documentary. I'm sure everybody has seen it. It was called Hookers of New York or whatever. And you with those prostitutes that they were interviewing, they talk about how they have to stay on drugs. Any prostitute will tell you they have to stay high. Even these young girls, I know he an old nigga. I've heard him say it. He an old nigga. I got to get drunk. I be getting my money. I just have to go on get drunk when I know he coming. A lot of those prostitutes said, I can't do it if I ain't high. Why you can't do it? Because it grossed me out for them men to be on top of me, making sounds and hearing their voice. That's the reason why they'll tell them, don't kiss me. Do not kiss me. It makes me sick to the stomach. And as soon as they get enough money, they go get high again so they won't have to think about it. Because it ain't normal. It's not even normal. It's gross. I can't even kiss a man that I don't like. I have to almost love him to kiss him. Because it ain't nothing normal about those energies. And for these girls to be giving up their precious heaven for $40 for any type of money, it's just it ain't right. And so nobody is teaching them that, because you got their mothers that perpetuate that, right? They perpetuate it. They're not trying to tell them anything because everybody is doing anything for money. I never say money is the root of all evil because I work like a dog because I'm gonna get my money. But what I do say is the love of money, the lust and the love that people have that they'll do for money is the root of all evil. It's not the money that's evil, it's the damn people, right? That ain't got no kind of couth about what they'll do. And nobody is calling that stuff to the forefront and dealing with it. Okay. Um, Legacy says, a lot of people like easy money. They don't like to bust their ass 40 hours a week. Absolutely not. Absolutely not at all. And so that's why I said a lot of this stuff has to change. It has to change. And I know people don't be wanting to hear that because, you know, people want a pacifier, you know, want somebody to pacify, you know, whatever it is that's going on now, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. That's it. And that's all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Too Pretty Miss Kitty says, if he love you, he ain't gonna have you. No, absolutely not. Durin says, these kids nowadays don't even want to work. They just want to do DoorDash and OnlyFans. That's it. That's all. Hey, Big Pressure. That's it. That's all. John says, ever since Dog Pass, a lot of stuff hit the fan with Memphis street beefs. Yeah, I agree with you, John. That's true. Ever since he passed, it seems like it's been like a wildfire. It has definitely spread it out of control. It has definitely spread it out of control. Yeah, a lot of people are on drugs now too. So, people say I'm insensitive when I talk about that. You insensitive. I've had people to reach out to me and say, Tamara, I like your blog, but I think you insensitive. Yeah, I'm sorry to people on drugs. I'm not insensitive. I think that I've already said some people can't help themselves. They self-medicate because of the trauma from their childhood, right? I know you have little girls that was violated, little boys that was violated. They have a lot of anger, and sometimes they start to self-medicate very early. And the earlier you get on something, the harder it is to get off of it, right? But I don't give a damn about these niggas that go jump on crack, smoking rocks, and they wait until they get to be 30, 40, 50 years old. Nigga, you knew what it was going to do to you before you got on it. I just had wanted to try fentanyl because I didn't think it was going to do me like that. You knew what fentanyl was going to do to your old ass. You came from the era of just say no, bitch. You knew what it was going to do to you before you went and fired that rock up. Now I don't feel sorry for you. John says everything starts at home. If the home not right, you're gonna jump off the porch not being right. I agree. You absolutely right. And so, John, what people don't understand is you're right about that. That you could start putting these kids in counseling and all of that. You could start trying to help to habilitate and rehabilitate these children. But they only with you for an hour or two. Even if you start doing it when they go home and their homes are messed up in trouble and they're traumatized at home, they gonna forget all about that because they're in their environment more than they are with you. So they meet with you once or twice a week for counseling. That child is still going right back to their toxicity. So everything that you tried to instill in them goes right out the door because most children are a product of their environment. I get so tired of parents and I'm talking about, well, I want my kids to at least my son be smoking meth with me. I'd rather him smoke meth with me than smoke with somebody else. Me and my son tight. Y'all, what's normal about that? It ain't a darn thing normal about that. How about not smoking meth, lady? See, ain't nobody telling folks that no more. Me and my son smoke meth together. Lady, how about getting off of drugs? How about that? But instead, people, I understand. Yeah, you have to smoke because you went through this, and yeah, I know your kid's daddy left you. Okay, and it stressed you out. People don't understand. I got 7 kids. I had to do something. Okay. Well, how about not getting pregnant no more? See, folks don't talk about that no more because then you consider judgmental. You know, it's not right for men to just be allowed to roam free and not take care of their children, because they have a responsibility, and it's like they are protected as it relates to that. But we also have to look at the flip side of that too. Okay, ladies, you're gonna have to stop having these babies with anybody too. Okay, so you are part to blame because we choose who we have these kids with. Because if you lay down and not have, you know what could happen if you ain't protected, right? And so people just don't care. They don't really care no more. Um, you have folks having kids with people and they don't even know their last name. They don't even know their first name. I know his name, Lil Boo Boo. I know I'm real good friends with his cousin. What's his first name? Cause see, I do private investigative work. I want to find my baby daddy. Every time income tax time come around, they be like, "What's his name? Lil Boo Boo." Well, I can get some hits on my system on an alias, but I need his name. Well, he a pain because I'm cool with his cousin. His cousin last name Payne. Well, cousins have different last names. And so you got a damn baby with a man and you don't even know his name. And folks don't think nothing is wrong with that. Well, if you say something, you judgmental. Now you tell that heifer you don't lay with a man you don't know nothing about. How about that? How about that? And so, it ain't right for these men to not take care of their children. But on the flip side, these women got to start making better decisions. But don't nobody want to talk about that, because now when you try to tell people what's right, you being judgmental. That's the reason why everything in disarray. His name Lil Pookie. Lady, you got with you, girl. You went and lay with that man because he had some rims that was spinning. Okay. If you don't know your damn baby daddy name, don't expect me to pull rabbits out of my hat. Well, you the private investigator. I can't stand a nasty heifer like that. You the private investigator. You ought to know. Now, I don't know you. If you don't know your damn baby name, daddy name, I don't either. Hell, I wasn't there. But see, ain't nobody forcing these folks to deal with that. So now your kids grow up and they are curious. Well, I just know his people, since his cousin name was Tasha Stewart, and me and her used to run tight. You got the kids looking for their daddies and stuff as they get older, and they ain't got no name but Lil Pookie. And Tasha Stewart was your mama's best friend. That was her cousin, and they ran tight, and she don't even know what Tasha is no more. Okay. Y'all know I'm telling the truth on these people. So we just gotta, So that's the reasons why a lot of these folks are making bad decisions. It's just too much. It ain't just happening in Memphis, it happens everywhere. But it's just too much dysfunction. He says, Mr. Parker says, there are a lot of emotions inside the vagina, Tam Tam. It takes a mature woman to maintain her composure when her kitty gets to talking. The women you're talking about don't think past the thriving. Well, that's true, but they need to at least know. Can't no man make me thrive that I don't know. Ooh. Mm-mm. You gotta at least have had some type of conversation, see some type of potential in him. I don't meet nobody for the first time and my coochie start throbbing. I gotta see something in him. I gotta been that's just being what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all hit the like button for me. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta be somewhere at 1. I gotta be out on a case at 1. So y'all know I'm gonna have to jump in my car and put my foot to the pedal. Because it's 12:50 right now. It just means you were raised right, TT. You have a mama and a daddy that didn't play. I'm telling you, my mama would whoop me. My daddy didn't whoop me because my mother wouldn't let him until I was about 13. Oh my God, I was so mad. I felt betrayed when my mama let my daddy hit me. And I needed it because I was gone crazy talking back. I was messing with my mama yesterday when we was out for my birthday dinner. And when we was out for my birthday dinner, I told my mama, I said, you whooped me, and I never saw you whoop my sister. And she said, you had to be whooped. You always talk back. You always got on my nerve because you talk back. And I thought about it. I said, I sure did. I always talk back. And that's why I be thinking about it when my oldest daughter had went through her phase and she was talking back and I was popping her in her mouth. My mama used to always say, you sure reap what you sow. I always talk back. She was like, I can't do nothing. My sister was telling me recently, my mama was saying recently, I still can't do nothing with that girl. She just, I don't even try to say nothing to her no more. I can't do nothing with her. So I taught you something that day. I remember like a couple years before my dad died, I had gotten mad at somebody that was messing with my daughter. And I got on Facebook and I was letting it rip. I cussed that woman out so bad. My dad called me. That was around the time that yeah, my daughter had started working for, she don't work there, she just left. My daughter had started working for the court system, right? I can say that now, she gone. And she had started working for the court system, and it was a lady that was messing with my child. Okay. It was a lady that was messing with my child because see, she's tall and slender and pretty and all of that, built nice, big legs and stuff. Even though she's slender, she took after me. She got them nice legs. And so a bitch thought she was gonna be making my child's job hard for her. And at the time I was working for I was working for a politician. And so I found out about that lady was messing with my child. My baby called me crying. And I mean, she was crying so that she was, y'all know that did something to me, right? And so I got on Facebook. I cussed that lady out so bad. Another politician that knows my dad saw it first and called my dad and was like, Rick, your daughter was on Facebook cussing out somebody, and I mean, she was cussing them out. My dad said somebody had called and woke him up. My dad sent me a message. My dad started sending me messages. I answered my phone. My dad said, "Get that off of Facebook right now," and I mean right now. I went ahead and took it down because I mean I was cussing. I was like, "Bitch, she came out of my motherfucking PUSSY." I mean, I just lost control. That's how mad I was messing with my child. So I mean, my dad still had quite a bit of control over me because he told me, I mean, you better take it down right now. I took it down, and I think about that, and I was like, dog, I should have just made it private, but my dad upset me so bad when he was fussing at me, I deleted it. I wish I had kept it as a reminder and just put it on private. When my dad was fussing, so it scared me. I deleted it. Azika says, I let them winters have it too. And this was a few years back, about, well, maybe at least about, because I hadn't worked for nobody in almost 5 years. So it's been almost 5 years. My baby just took a job somewhere else, and she just passed everything, and she'll be going through the academy soon, the police academy. So I'm glad she's doing all of this while that's around. Yeah, yeah. Now, so anyways, y'all, I gotta run because I gotta be out on the case. But I want you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I enjoyed you guys today. Maybe I'll get back on later on once I finish doing everything that I gotta do. I shouldn't be out too long because I'm kind of getting started early. I should be through about 6 o'clock today. But I love you guys. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good day, okay? I'll talk with you later.